As a giant GTA 6 fan, when the second delay was announced, I was very surprised and sad, because I really want this game just to come out already so that I can play it, you know, and this game is being hyped up by the community and of course me as well to be the best game ever in the history of anything ever, and seemingly this game just doesn't want to come out and they keep working on it. And of course one big question is, are they working on it right now just to fix the bugs, and is it actually content ready? And there is a reporter called Tom Henderson, which is someone who is very credible in terms of leaks. He leaks a lot of Call of Duty stuff every year and he's always spot on, and so he has been leaking or talking about a lot of GTA 6 stuff, and he says that the game is content ready, and so this is just about fixing the bug.
I don't think it's going to be delayed again. I think this, I mean, we're talking, this is a substantial delay, right? This is another 6 months. And I think even the employee said it in the, I think it was like a GTA forum kind of dealio. He even said that the game is content ready, and from what I've heard, it's been content ready for a very long time. I
gotta have the question, in my most down bad pessimistic time right after the delay, which is, could this be that GTA 6 is just plainly gonna suck and they're trying to fix everything? Now I gotta emphasize that this is not a real, genuine thought that I have, it's just an emotional thought, but I want to entertain this thought for this video and kind of just talk about all the circumstances and what would happen in the case that GTA 6 sucks. And if it sucks, who actually will care? Well, obviously I will care, obviously a lot of my viewers will care, and obviously a lot of the world will care because they have been waiting for this thing for 13 years by the time that it comes out, and they haven't had a new GTA since 2013. And of course, yes, we've had Red Dead Redemption number 2, and the story was amazing, the gameplay was amazing, and the visuals were very amazing, especially for a PS4 game. That game came out on a PS4, but then you check out what people have to say about the online element, and I gotta be honest, when's the last time you have wanted to play Red Dead Redemption 2 online? They completely fumbled it. They saw with Grand Theft Auto 5 that it was just making too much money by making the GTA 5 missions very long, very boring, because that incentivizes people to take a shortcut, which is paying for money in-game with the shark cards, and therefore speeding up the process of the grind fest, as we call it. These slow missions that you have to do for little money, while you want to have fun missions and just drive around in your cool car, boat, or plane. And that is my main concern with Grand Theft Auto 6 Online. Is it gonna be another grind fest? Because Red Dead Redemption 2 Online really put this to the next level. The missions were even more boring, it took even more long, you got even less money for it, and they introduced this thing called gold bars, I think, that you could basically only obtain with actual real life money. And even if you bought a lot of that, all you could do is just buy like a hat or something that just didn't really matter. And we know that in Grand Theft Auto 6 there's gonna be unlimited amount of customization to your vehicles, your character, maybe even your home, and so there's a lot of stuff to pay for with GTA money or maybe your own real life money. And there was this rumor of cryptocurrency being in the game. Now I do gotta emphasize that this is not the real life cryptocurrency. You're not gonna be able to buy literal Bitcoin in GTA 6. It is a fictional thing, a fictional currency called crypto, also according to some leakers. And it's kind of like gems in Clash Royale, where you basically can only buy it with real life money, and so certain items are only available for people who have spent real life money in the game. Now, these days, games like Clash Royale kind of changed it up a lot bot where they say, okay, you don't even have to buy gems anymore, you can just directly purchase an item with your real life money, and you don't need this little in-between currency that you need, because there were a lot of concerns about buying actual in-game currency, and it would kind of mislead people thinking that you had way more, and it would confuse the audience who was purchasing it on how much they are actually worth. And you can do some dodgy things with that, so there is a big chance that they completely fumble GTA 6 Online. Now, for me, there is no reason for Take-Two Interactive, who is the parent company of Rockstar Games. Those are the people who only care about the money that's coming in and doesn't care about the actual creativity of the game. Like I said in my last video, there's so much money that they have been missing out because they wanted to rush the Netflix iOS Android Definitive Edition for Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, because there's this whole separate game mode that modders have made for San Andreas, which is San Andreas Multiplayer, SAMP, and they could have put that in the Netflix or Android iOS mobile versions of that game, and they could have made like a Call of Duty Mobile type thing where you can buy cool outfits, they can add new cars in there. They basically make it GTA Online but for mobile, and they are missing out on billions and billions and billions of dollars. And it's funny that they don't see that, because they don't want to recognize the community. They don't want to see the beautiful creations that the fans have been making. The only thing they acknowledged is Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay, and guess why? It's because streamers were streaming their roleplay experiences. It resonated with a lot of people. A lot of people loved watching roleplay and wanted to even become part of roleplay, but these are young kids that have not played GTA 5. They've just been busy playing Fortnite and Roblox, and now it's time to go to the next level of GTA 5, and they mass purchased GTA 5, and Rockstar took notice that this roleplay boom gave them a lot of new sales and a lot of new players who then eventually also went into the GTA Online. They funneled into there and they went and spent shard cards there. And so that's why roleplay wasn't banned, because it was making them a lot of money. And now I want to talk about the do we even care part. The if GTA 6 sucks, who cares? Well, the whole thing about this is, for a lot of people, we do care. But the general audience of kids who is playing Fortnite, Roblox, and GTA 5, of course they want to have a new iteration, and they will also probably keep playing because of this whole grindfest thing. And you know, a lot of kids are kind of just addicted to anything these days and brain dead. But that's fine, because as kids we were just as addicted. I remember being so addicted to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I played it every day after school. That's just how life is as a kid, and that's absolutely fine. But for a lot of players, if the game sucks, if it's gonna be a grind fest, it's gonna have the same fate as Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, which is people are just kind of gonna forget about that aspect and kind of ignore it and play something else. And I really hope that this doesn't happen. Of course, me as a GTA 6 fan, I think that it's gonna be absolutely great. I am very convinced that this game is gonna be super good, and the online aspect probably is gonna incentivize me to pay a lot of stuff. But as a YouTuber who is going to be a GTA 6 video creator, I don't really mind that. And of course, for the general audience, I hope there's gonna be multiple ways for you to play GTA 6 completely for free without any microtransactions or anything like that. And I also think, by the way, that GTA 5 is gonna be free just like Fortnite is, at least the online aspect, after the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, because they'll just be doing some very minor updates probably to GTA 5, keep it live, because it keeps racking in $500 million a year. And so I don't think they're gonna abandon that. Even though GTA 6 is now the big boy, there's still gonna be a team at Rockstar dedicated to providing GTA 5 online content, even if it's a little bit and not much. So my main concern about this whole thing is, will we be forced to pay money to have quote-unquote fun? You know, is it gonna be a grind fest? And also, what are they gonna do with Rockstar's roleplay for GTA 6? I'm very curious about that and how they're gonna do that. Now, there is people talking about, maybe a battle pass is good for GTA 6 Online. Strauss Zelnick, who is that money guy over at Take-Two, he's the boss there. He said that GTA 5 is currently under monetized, which means there's only one way to make money with that game. And the reason I keep going back to making money is because for these big boys up there who are the bosses of those companies, this is kind of all they care about, and this is why they are making this game. They're not making it for the love of the art. That's what the developers are, and that's why you shouldn't get mad at the developers whenever there is a delay or anything else, because they are in it here for the art. They really love this game. I remember a video that Mike York did, who used to be a developer of Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5, and he was talking about the hiring process of Rockstar Games. And he went with somebody who usually hires, but Mike York went along with him to kind of help out with the hiring process and help out with making a decision. And they went to like a lunch with 3 guys. So it was Mike York, who is the developer at that time, then the guy who was going to hire, and then it was the guy who was trying to get the job. And he was a very good animator. You saw his work, he was so good, it was almost flawless, he was really talented, and he should be on the team, said Mike. And then the other guy who was interviewing the new guy was like, have you played GTA a lot? And the guy trying to get the job was like, no, I'm not really too familiar, but I know about it, you know, it's a great franchise, and it looks really good, and that's why I'm so excited to work on it, because I want to get to know the game better. And so they finished up, and eventually the interviewer was asking Mike York, when the new guy was gone, was like, what do you think about him? And Mike said, well, his portfolio looks very good, I think we should hire him. What do you think? And the guy who was doing the job interview said, we're not gonna hire him. And Mike said, why? And he said, well, he isn't familiar with the source material, he isn't familiar with GTA, he's not a big fan. And this was an animating job. Animations don't really have you make Easter eggs or anything, but it might, you know. So this is why in every GTA things are so carefully created, because people who want to work on this game are not allowed in Rockstar Games if they are not familiar with this game. And this is why I have faith that this game is gonna be so good. But then at the other side, you see people being fired for trying to start a union. That's the latest news of last week, right? It's them protesting about their stories and they just want to get back. Imagine being fired and all they want to do is just stay in the job. You know that your boss kind of sucks. You know that you are being brought in for a little friendly conversation, and within 5 minutes you're being fired. They don't tell you why. And imagine then protesting because you want to keep working at the company. That's not love for your boss. That's love for the stuff you do. That's love for the source material. That is love for the Grand Theft Auto franchise. And that is the love to finish the game that you've started on, that you've worked on for basically 7 to 8 years already. And that's the big battle that we're kind of facing with. Do we trust the developers? Of course. We trust the developers that the story mode is going to be great, the mechanics are going to be great, the Easter eggs are going to be very fun to chase, the little details are gonna be absolutely insane, and we'll have thousands of hours of fun to play. And if you want to know why, you can watch the rest of my channel and all my other videos. But then you have this other side, which is the people who are running the business, right? And they are focused on how do we make as much money as possible, and that is what has ruined Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. And I'm just saying, after all the delays, after everything that we've had to wait for, if GTA 6 Online still sucks, if it's still gonna be this soul-sucking grind fest, then people are gonna be like, well, you know what, I don't really care about GTA anymore. Because a lot of the people who loved GTA 5 don't play online anymore either. They either switched to RP, which is made by the fans who do care about a fun gameplay experience, or they just went to play other games. They went back to playing the GTA 4 campaign, or San Andreas, Vice City 3. They went back to Red Dead Redemption 1, Undead Nightmare, RDR 2 and that story, which I'm actually playing right now. Very fun. Just got into to chapter 3. So this video might be a little bit of a disliked video because I usually am very positive, but I just want to raise my concerns here and say that this might be an inevitable thing that's coming, where paying money is incentivized by making the game boring in the first place, and I just hope that is not the case. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm just very curious about this subject, man. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, so hopefully you guys who have watched till the end don't really mind, and you know that I'm a big GTA fan and I want GTA 6 to be very good, but this is just a concern that I have and I just wanted to make this video. So thank you for watching. Thank you Rolfcore, Easy Does It, and Victor for being a member. See you next time, bye bye.